All right, welcome everyone to the Team Fit and Natural team call. It's Wednesday, September 28th, and tonight we have George as our guest speaker, who will be our technological guru for the evening. And I know a lot of people were excited about this topic and had questions, and so I'm sure a lot of people will be looking back at this call as a resource, which will be awesome. But before we get into that, I'm just going to go through recognition and announcements and take a look at our latest cover photo, which I will post after the team call. So it is very slowly opening. Sorry, one sec. The internet has been slowing down for me about this time every night this week. Okay, so first we will recognize those people who hit Success Club so far for the month of September. And of course, there are still a couple days left to hit, and so many of you are close, so I hope people are working towards that. Laura Schiller has 15 points. I have 14 points. Alyssa Wilk has 6. Jessica Burke has 6. Kim Supsack has 6. And Laura Sheridan has 5. So those are our Success Club earners so far. On the way to Success Club, we have Amanda Liu at 4, Stacy Clark at 4, Crystal Robinson at 4, Lauren Klein at 3, Amy Boothman at 2, Lauren DeNicola at 2, Phyllis Greenberg at 2, Anne-Marie Pector at 2, Jorje Axline at 2, Renee Popolo-Smith at 2, Chris Robinson at 2, Alexa at 1, and Rachel at 1. Reminder that our team Wear and Share flash sale ends on Friday. And the new items are up, as I mentioned in the team group. I'm sorry there's been such a delay with getting everything up and processed on the site, but Mary, who runs this business, is a brand new mom with a newborn at home, and she is a little bit off her game right now, as you could imagine. So she's doing the best she can with that. But we do have some cool new options, including a kid's shirt that can say Coach in Training, a muscle tank, a unisex like regular t-shirt, and then a pullover hoodie sweatshirt, which I think I'm gonna get. So some really cool options. And then we also, sorry, let me get back there, have, we had our sneak peek this week, so make sure you are following up with everyone that you had participate, and remember that group will remain open all month. And so you can add people in there at any time throughout the month if they are interested in coaching. Our next sneak peek will be October 24th. Our 3-day refresh group for October will also be on the 24th. We have Coach Basics and Emerald training starting on Monday. So the group has been created, and those people who signed up were added along with their sponsoring coach. If you think you're supposed to be in there and you are not, let us know immediately. Our free 1-week yoga group will be October 9th. So there was some discussion about this in our working coach message thread, but basically I explained that we will not be doing a 3-week free group for the 3-week yoga retreat program every month, because running a free group that's more than 1 week long is just, using our resources inefficiently. So we will be condensing it into a free 1-week yoga group that will run once a month, and Anne-Marie will lead it, and she will have a schedule for beginners, middle level, and advanced to follow, using the 3-week yoga retreat and using some of her favorite prompts from the 3-week group that she's running. So that will be a great free opportunity available every month. Our next challenge groups start on October 17th. We will have our Core de Force Fight for It free group, which will be a 1-week group using the sneak peek of MMA Speed from Core de Force, as well as the other Joel and Jericho workouts on Beachbody On Demand, and that group will start on October 24th. We have Super Saturday, the weekend of October 29th. I highly encourage everyone to get to your local event. And then we will have a 7-day Shakeology and clean eating group. That's one group combined starting on October 31st. And then, of course, the Core de Force launch will be on November 1st. Does anyone have questions about any of the upcoming events? Okay, well, that is our announcements for now. If there's no questions, I'm going to hand this right over to George, who's going to get started sharing her screen, and I'm going to mute myself.
Okay, before I share my screen, I just wanted to go over some tips for going live on your page and why you should go live on your page. I feel like you guys can't see my eyes because of light reflecting, but I can't read my notes if I don't have my glasses on. So I know that some of you aren't as comfortable with going live yet, but Facebook wants to be the next YouTube, so they're really pushing video content. So if you want to be seen by more of your followers, it's a good way to get seen. They will, you know how you have to have so many likes to see, for so many of your followers to see it. Well, if you're posting video, they're more likely to share your content with your followers. And then my tips, I've kind of gone over these. I went over these somewhere before. I think I posted them in the group a couple of months ago, but I just want to encourage everybody. A lot of times when I see people doing video on their phone, they're looking at their screen. And so a lot of times, even though you're listening to them and you feel like they're talking to you, they are looking like this. So you kind of feel a little bit detached. It helps if you can look directly at your camera instead of your screen. And to help with that, if you have any notes, you can put them over the picture, or if you're feeling uncomfortable, you can find a picture of a friend or something and put the picture of your friend covering the screen. Of course, that's still going to have you looking away from the camera, and you can't cover the camera. But just some things that might help you work through that. Also, if you do have notes of things that you're wanting to cover while you're live, don't take your notes word for word. You might know exactly what you want to say, but if you write every single word you plan to say, you're going to come out like you're reading it. You're not going to be paying attention to the camera, and you're going to sound very, not necessarily practiced or rehearsed, but not natural either. So instead, take your notes in an outline. You can even practice what you're going to say, but just take down some key notes that you want to cover and then hit on those as you go. As far as content for live video, I know a lot of people have said they don't know what to say when they get on live video. They don't know a reason to get on live video. So I have some tips for you. I don't know how many of you have looked at my page, but I have started doing a gratitude post every morning and every night. I also do a high-low from my day every evening. And we're all about adding value to those that are following us. And you might not think that your average day is value, but it is. You are a reality show for your followers. They want to get to know you. You want them to trust you. So sharing all of those things about your day helps them get to know you as a friend, even if you're not hearing from them at the time. And you might think that only a handful of people are even seeing it, but I've had people come to me, or I reach out to somebody. Just recently, I reached out to a mom that as soon as I just checked, I was like, hey, I just wondered how you were doing, just like I would follow up with anybody that I hadn't talked to in a couple of years. And she just spilled her guts out to me about some of her real hard struggles she's going through. And I was like, I'm really honored that you feel you can share this with me. And she said, well, you're so open on your page and you share so much with me through that. She hadn't been liking or commenting on anything up to that point, so I had no idea she was even seeing it. So share yourself, open up, and just, it doesn't have to be deep thought. However, if you do have a deep thought, and I've done this, you guys have probably seen if you have looked at my page much, a while back, I was doing a post after my plasma donation almost every time. And it's because while I was donating plasma, I was reading my personal development or listening to personal development. And that really helps me come up with things I want to talk about. So as soon as I would leave plasma, hop on my camera and go live and talk about it while it's fresh and while I'm still excited about it. It's really good to sound exciting on your videos because it kind of gets them excited. It's contagious. But don't be afraid to share sad things too, because that certainly pulls on the heartstrings. If your kids are being cute, if your pets are being cute, hop on and show your face. Tell them that you wanted to show them this cute thing that they're doing, and then show the kid or pet on the camera. If you have exciting news, that's always good to share. And then the last point I have as far as going live when people talk about being uncomfortable going live. Just imagine that you're sitting at a coffee shop across the table from one person. You're just talking to one person. You're not talking to the entire internet out there. You don't have to be nervous about all the people out there. You're just talking to, you can imagine you're talking to me. What do you want to tell George today? What do you want to tell Charise today? Pick somebody that you're comfortable talking to and talk to them through your camera. So that's all I had to say about specifically about going live. Bonnie had a question about using a scheduler, and I will say I don't personally use a scheduler because I'm focusing my most of my energy on my like page, and Facebook already has a scheduler in it. This past weekend, I scheduled 42 posts. That probably sounds like a lot, but I scheduled 3 posts a week for the next month until Quarter Force comes out, or at least until our free group happens. I scheduled a Saturday themed post for the next, until the end of the year, literally through December. And then I wound up posting or scheduling one other topic through the end of the year. Throwback Thursday I did. So, and that's one of those things where I know we talk about during Power Hour, maybe scheduling the next week of posts. For me, it was really easy to get into a zone. Okay, so I'm going to do Throwback Thursday. All my pictures are together. It's easy to schedule out a whole bunch of those if you're going to do them once a week. And then you can kind of get those themes going. And once you have those, people start to expect them. And I've heard from some more successful coaches that do a lot of scheduled posts, that when they don't post something when they normally do, their followers will ask, hey, where's this post? I'm looking for it, and it's not here. So I feel like it's good to get people relying on you in that way. They're used to seeing what, something in particular, they're expecting it from you. They're expecting you. Okay, and now I would like to share my screen. Let's see here. Nice. I didn't know it would give me an option of which screen to share. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one. Do you guys see anything yet? No, not yet. Let me see. Oh, it's coming, I think. Yep, it's loading. I've only shared my screen once before, so. Is there anything there? I'm seeing a black screen. Please move this window away from. Okay, now I have my window in front of me. It may take a second. Okay, so this is specifically my like page, but I had some tips, and this first one I actually learned from Charise in her like page group, and I don't know if everyone is still aware of that, but there is a like page training group that is just kind of whenever something comes up, we share it there, or Charise shares it there. But on your like page, if you're running one of these, you see, I didn't know what she was talking about the first time she said 9 square. But there are these pictures over here. My mouse is just delayed there. But you can see towards the right, there are 9 pictures. Those show your most recent 9 photos. And because I go live a lot, I find that my face is not always featured there. And you want at least half of those to be your face. Yes, you want to share your cats, your dogs, your pets, whatever, your lunch, your recipes. But you want people to remember you and your face. So at least half of those need to be you. And I currently have, yes, exactly half of the, well, you can't be exactly half of well, you kind of do, because I have half of my face there. So I have 5.5 there are my face. So I've been actually focusing and working on that lately. I also wanted to talk about how to tag yourself in the pictures that you post and why you would want to do that. And I specifically posted this Sushi Wednesday post so that I could show this to you. When you're posting the picture, it doesn't give you the option to tag it like it does on your personal page, but you can open the picture and click your tag photo, and you can tag yourself anywhere in the picture. And the thing that does for you is it makes this image visible on your personal page to anybody that sees notifications about you being tagged in pictures. So that can help your reach get out and help remind people that you have a page without you going, hey, like my page. Okay.
Wait, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, sorry. Another reason I like to do that too is because for people who are like page fans, when they see my personal profile, it makes them more aware of my name and the fact that they can friend me on my personal page too. So I try and have my personal page tagged everywhere possible, just so people know they can access me there as well.
That's a good idea.
And
And it can help them know that you're actually a real person, not just a business.
Yeah, because sometimes I know that sometimes people go over to my personal page and it's set to public. So even if they don't send me a friend request, they can still see everything about me, scroll through my pictures. You know, it kind of gives validity to what I'm doing on the like page. And you can also share your like page posts to your personal page as well, which is another great thing to do.
I especially do that if I have anything emotional that I would have previously shared on my personal page. I will still share it I share on my Fit page, and then I just share it over there, something really exciting or something emotional. Or just a post I'm really proud of. I'll share it elsewhere and be like, hey, this was really important to me, and I thought I'd let you guys know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the next thing I have on my list is to like your posts. You want to do it as soon as you can, but sometimes I don't get to it for a couple of hours. But you can like your post from multiple accounts. So for me personally, I have, of course, my personal page, and then I have my like page, but I also have my blog like page, which is a completely separate entity, and it's Mama George without the Fit Hippie part. But so if you can see my mouse here, I'm going to mouse over this. It's currently set to I am currently Fit Hippie. So I can like my page or love, that I had sushi. And I also like to use this to do different reactions. And then I'll come down here and I will be Mama George. So if you have any other page you can be, or that you admin, I actually have several on there, but I don't use all the others because they belong to other people that just have me on there to help them. But so now I'm liking it as Mama George. And it'll even pop up with a, hey, Mama George liked your page. Yes, I know I did. And then I can also come on as myself and love it again. And this helps your visibility, because the more attention a post gets, the more they're going to put it out there, because Facebook thinks, oh, well, this is interesting. People want to see it. It also, some people might be scrolling through and see a post, and if it doesn't have any reactions yet, they're less likely to react to it. But even if they really like it, like, oh, well, nobody else thought it was worth liking yet, so I don't need to click anything. So it encourages them to interact with your post. If you can get a good friend or a spouse to even go and comment on it, that's even better, because that will encourage other people to comment on your post. Let's see here. The other thing I wanted to talk about specifically for like page is, let me see if I go to my home screen, which will take you to my newsfeed. We talk occasionally about interests, or it's actually, I think it's called something else. They're friend groups, but it's not like a group event on Facebook. It's more, I think of it more of a way to tag your friends. And if you can see over here, I have, it pops up with 2016 prospects. I actually have more groups than that, but it puts the most recent one you looked at or edited right there. There are a couple of ways to do that. If you first friend somebody, I'm going to go to Bonnie's page just because she's here. Okay, so if you have somebody, either you go to their page to friend them, or you have somebody that you've been friends with for a long time and you want to add them to an interest list, one way to do it is to mouse over the friends button. You don't even have to click it. And you come down to add to another list. There you go. They call them lists, not tags. And I have a bunch of different tags that I've used in the past so that I knew how I knew somebody. Did I know them from Girl Scouts or FedEx or whatever? And so I can come down here and say 2016 prospects. You can also do that from if you go to your friends of friends, when you're looking for someone to connect with, when you first say send friend request and it turns into request sent, you can also hover over that button and it will give you that same drop down so that you can assign them to that list immediately. There is one more way actually to do that. If you come back to that list so that you can then view your newsfeed as those prospects. And I'm working on getting better at doing it this way instead of going to individual pages and going through. If you go to a person's page and go through and react to everything they posted, it looks a little bit more like stalking. But if you come to your prospect list and go through it and react as, in the order that they've been posted, it just gives it a more natural feel from their end. And it helps keep you focused from other stuff, I think. But you can also, once you're on this page, you can manage list, edit list. If you have current friends, this is actually a better way to add them. This shows everybody I have on my current list for 2016 prospects, but I can view my friends or pages or people I'm following instead. And then I can just go through and check mark anybody that I want to add to that and say finish. And there was the search bar at the top as well. So you can search out a particular friend that you want to enter. I don't know why you wouldn't just go to their page though if you needed to search them out. And then I really like making my own memes. I think I might have to come back to Zoom to tell it to switch which window I'm looking at. Let's see. Once Zoom catches up. I have all my photo editing. Oh, let's see.
And George, just in case for people who will be watching this tomorrow, just to emphasize why it's important to be liking and commenting on your prospects' profiles, those people will then see your posts more. So you will become more visible to them. And also when you private message people, it helps your posts become more visible to them as well, which is another little trick. And of course, anytime that you're liking and commenting, that's part of the form process and getting to know them and forming a relationship. So it's great for that as well.
I'm actually starting to see the results of that myself from having worked on this for a while. Is now I'm getting reactions to my personal page from people that don't normally react. And I think it's because I am reaching out and interacting with their pages and messaging them. Exactly. They're more likely to see your posts. Okay, I have a graphics tab open as well. So, okay, so there are a lot of graphics software websites out there, and they have different things to offer. Most recently, I learned about Canva from Diamonds to Dollars group, and I am in love, but it doesn't offer everything, at least not for free. It is really handy for creating stuff because it's less limited than the others. My top 3 currently would be Canva, PicMonkey, and BeFunky. As far as the freedom goes, with PicMonkey, and I believe with BeFunky as well, when you add pictures to something, it has to be in a set layout. I could be wrong about BeFunky. I haven't used it as much. But with Canva, you can drag things around, you can overlap them, you can bring them further to the front or push them further to the back. However, PicMonkey and BeFunky let you use fonts that are loaded on your computer. So if you're using a brand, which is really a good idea if you have a like page, using the same font on all of your graphics that you create, using the same color scheme for things, it's a good idea, I feel, so you want to use the same font. And I like the idea of using a font that isn't a default font. They're not going to see it hardly anywhere else. So Canva doesn't allow you to do that without paying for a subscription, but the other two do. You just say, look at my font. It says yours. You can look at your fonts instead of theirs. So what I will actually do is play around with my image on Canva, and then I will save it to my computer and go to PicMonkey or BeFunky and do my text, which might sound like more work, but it's worth it to me to get it to look the way that I want it to look. So Canva has a choice here to do Facebook post. And I noticed today when I was kind of prepping that not PicMonkey might, but I don't think so, but BeFunky offers these layouts, which you'll see pop up on the left here in just a second. So you can actually pick an already set up look for your post and then just change it or remove what you don't want. So there's nice autumn brew. We'll pick that one just for fun. Okay, so this might be a nice background, and I can click it and take out any aspect once my computer catches up. And they have some for free, but then they have some that you have to pay for, so you just have to kind of see it. It'll tell you. Okay, so I can change that text and keep it that size, or if you click right, my computer's being a little bit slow. Usually if you select it from kind of below it, you can select the whole area Oh, it still thinks I'm trying to select letters. Okay, so now it's selecting. I can select the text on the ribbon easier for some reason. Oh, come on. Oh, it also lets you do this. Okay, we'll catch up in a second. You can rotate your text, so you don't have to be boring, have it all laid out like a paragraph. Oh, wow, I just deleted the whole background. But it has this nice undo up here. Does anybody have anything in particular they're wanting to be able to do with graphics that they don't currently know how to do? I know there's only a couple of us on here. I haven't seen any specifics mentioned in the question list, but
I think probably most people would like to know about cover photos and then creating their own meme, like if they have, you know, their own image and then they want to put a quote on it and make it look cool.
yeah,
I
okay,
feel like that would be what we all use it for most.
You bet.
Okay.
They actually have, if I can move this down so I can see. So it has those options across the top: social media post, presentation, poster, Facebook post. But if you click on more, they have them sized perfectly for you for Twitter and for, let's see, if you keep scrolling down, desktop wallpaper, which is great if you want to create a vision board for yourself. That was where I discovered Canva, and it was so much fun. Keep scrolling down, you can find Facebook cover and Facebook event cover, which are two different size images. And I believe even our team cover photo, because I just created like a group cover photo for a new page I'm putting together. It's a whole other size. You have to look up the size and create it from scratch. But you can come down here and create a cover photo. But I'm going to do Facebook post again, but instead of choosing their background, you can upload. And they have a lot of, with Canva, you can actually search for things that you're looking for elements that you want to use, and they have a lot of free stuff on here. I'm sure they have lots more that you can buy. But so as elements, text, you can do all kinds of backgrounds or background colors. And then you have your uploads, and I'm going to upload my own image, and I made sure I had a folder of images that had just some stuff I could use that was all work safe. Okay, so I'm just going to pick, I think this one lends itself well to a meme. I just haven't picked out what I want to do with it, and it's not me, it's my son. But so it popped up over here, and I can select it to use in my post. And then what's great, so a lot of times if you create a meme with your image, it looks too busy once you get the text and your picture there. And what you can do that really helps with that, if you come up here, this like looks kind of like a checkerboard, and that's your transparency, and you can just turn your background down. So you can still see it. Oh, the actual background needs to go though, because that transparency is making it show you that too. Okay, so I would maybe do this picture the same size as the background personally. There we go. But you can change that transparency so that whatever text you put on top of it will really pop. I'm gonna do elements first. Let's see. And you can search for just any term. I love it. And some of them are items that would have those are all for pay, but let's say heart, you can get a lot of choices here. And they tend to have a transparent background. So you can pop that right on there, and you have all kinds of creative freedom there. You can change the size, you can rotate it, and you can change the color. And then your text. And Canva is cool for this. The other two have text options, and like I said, they let you choose your font from your own computer. But Canva offers you these cool looking headers that might be fun to play with for a meme. So let's see, like, oh wow, that's just, there it goes. So that one finally loaded, or for me anyway. Oh, I grabbed the background instead of the image. There we go. Ah, it might take some practice to grab what you're trying to grab, apparently. I keep grabbing the background. There we go. I just needed to grab the middle. So I can move this around anywhere on the picture I want and can just edit the pieces of it that I want to. So I can make it, and that particular one wouldn't lend itself to a meme necessarily unless you only need 2 words. But you can see some of the examples here on the side of the screen that you can make it look kind of more interesting than just having text. That one kind of looks like a newspaper header, so that might be fun. And I would say, I personally keep a folder full of inspiration for memes. If you ever see a meme that you really like, snag it, and then when you see a picture that seems like it will fit for that, that is appropriate for what you want to say, put them together. I've done a bunch of them, but I still have so many more that I need to do that I have inspiration for.
George, before you close out of there, can you just show how to save it? Because
yes,
there's not a save button the way there is
yeah,
PicMonkey.
Absolutely. So there we go. It currently says up here unsaved changes. It's saving. All changes saved. So you're not going to lose this if you happen to close it. As long as you come back, it'll still be sitting there. But you can come up to the download button. And they recently changed it so it tries to go directly to PNG, which might not be as easy to edit in other programs if you're wanting to make changes using a different site. So I go to JPEG personally. It used to give you the option whether you wanted to download it for print or web, but you can download it and it will download right to your download folder on your computer. And it will actually stay accessible until you delete it off of Canva. Once you have an account, I can say save file. I'm going to say cancel though. I don't actually need that. So, but when I close this one out, yes, I want to leave the page. When it comes back to here, this was the first screen where we picked out which kind we wanted to make. Up here it says all your designs. If I go there, it now has, sometimes it looks gray, but if I click on it, it'll take me to another tab where it will actually show me exactly what I created. It's weird because sometimes it shows the picture there and sometimes it just shows gray. And with a free Canva account, you can actually set up 2 folders if you're wanting to sort out any 2 topics of where you want your images. And you'll be able to see all your designs, or you can create 2 folders and see just particular ones. You might be memes and selfies or something, I don't know. And that is that. I can do demonstration on PicMonkey and BeFunky if anybody wants to see those, but that's up to you. Otherwise, I think I've covered.
Well, the Canva thing was super helpful. Just watching you do that helped me a lot, just because it is a little less intuitive, but I feel like there's so much creative ability there. There's just so much if you spend time with it. So that was super helpful. I feel like PicMonkey is really obvious for the most part. I have never used BeFunky. So what is what's the advantage of using BeFunky in your opinion?
I want to say it's kind of pretty similar to PicMonkey. I think it maybe has just a few more options and might actually be almost a little more user intuitive or work a little bit faster.
Okay.
One other problem though with PicMonkey and BeFunky is that they both use Flash, and Chrome, for instance, is doing away with Flash. It won't even run Flash anymore. So you might not be able to even use these sites. I actually had to use a different browser specifically to do this because they wouldn't open. They kept crashing in Chrome. But my computer is old and I couldn't even update Chrome because they stopped doing updates for Windows Vista. Canva also has an app you can use on your phone, but I tried in the car and was lost. So I have to play with that a lot more to figure it out. I don't know if PicMonkey or BeFunky have that, but I think I'll probably just stick with editing my images on the computer or posting pictures raw.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think PicMonkey has one, and Canva as an app itself is so new. I feel like it's been about a month that they've had an app, so that might be why it's still a little tricky. They may be working through the bugs.
I did think of one more thing I didn't show you in Canva, and I don't know how advanced you guys want to get on your graphics. If it'll open this picture again, thinking about it, is we've been talking about bringing things forward and moving them back or doing layers, and I'm not sure if everybody knows what I mean when I say that, but I'm just going to grab some more elements to put in there to kind of display to show what I'm talking about. So I like it for doing a collage more so than the official collage or using a grid. And they offer the grids on this site as well. But if you have a bunch of shapes, let's say this is going to be pink, and this heart's going to be red, and I can change the size, but maybe I want the star, maybe I want the black heart on top. So I can select the black heart, which can be tricky when you have several things on top of each other, but you'll get it. You can copy it to make a bunch of them, and whatever you put on most recently will be the top layer. But when you have a layer chosen, you can come up here to arrange, which is next to that transparency. Oh, I haven't even played with link. Okay, I'm really excited about that. I have to go play with that later. But you just hit arrange and you can move it forward to the top. There it goes. It's going to pop up over that star. So now that is on top of the star. It's still behind the heart, the big red heart, because of the order that I added them in, but I can pop it further forward. And you can do that with any aspect of your image. You can arrange it forward. And any text you do, you can choose your font, but you can also choose your size. You can even do bold, italic, and lists and all of that, depending on the font. Some fonts don't support it. So that was the other thing I wanted to cover on those.
That's really cool. It's making me want to spend more time playing with this.
I'm definitely not always efficient when I work on images because I really get into it. But I figure if you think of it as a hobby and you're enjoying your time, as long as you're not blowing a lot of time, suit yourself.
Right. Yeah, this is fun. And I feel like the Canva stuff comes out looking so much more professional too, which is
absolutely.
Well, George, thank you so much. This was such a great presentation. There were so many great little technical tips, but also so many great coaching tips as well. And this will be very valuable for so many people on the team. And would it be okay if when I post the replay that I say that if anyone has additional questions for you, if they come up with anything, they can just comment right there on that thread?
Absolutely. They can comment on the thread with questions and I will check for that. But if I honestly, if anybody in the team has a technical question in a month and doesn't remember where the thread is, I'm happy to help anybody on the team that needs it. So feel free to private message me directly if they need to. Of course, you can also ask on the team page and then anybody that knows the answer can answer it. And then if you have the question, of course, somebody else probably has that question too. So then everybody can benefit from it. Just tag me if it's something that you think I'm going to have the answer for.
Okay, perfect. Well, it's so nice, like I said, having someone who feels technically proficient in more ways than I do, just to be a kind of team guru for us. So that's really awesome all around. So thank you again.
You're welcome. It's good to have a strength I can share with everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have been the master of live videos. So those were great tips as well. And I highly encourage anyone who hasn't been on George's like page to head over there and take a look at how she's been using live video and, just to get a feel, like she said, with her attitude of gratitude and the highs and lows of the day, she has her themes, and then she has, when she shares her kind of, aha moments. And I love, George, what you said about talking right after reading personal development, because, there's nothing fake about sharing what you learn about personal development. You absolutely should give credit. You should say, when you're in the middle of your video, you should say, I'm in the middle of reading, Glennon Doyle Melton's Love Warrior right now, and this thought really came to me and I wanted to share, which I actually did on my like page about something from that book. But it's just such a great way to be inspired and to share what you're learning. And you can't assume that everyone else out there is reading personal development the way we do, because this is just a quirk of being a coach that we're all lucky to have now. But that's a great thing to share as well.
I even started tagging it today with hashtag personal development, because it's something I want out of my personal development. I want to, because I enjoy doing any of the deep thought posts, and personal development definitely does that. It gets you thinking and maybe even self-evaluating, getting to know yourself better, or rethinking things. So I think of it as a new feature on my page. I'll just tag them all, and then anybody that wants to know more about personal development can click on personal development.
Right. That's a great idea. I feel like for me with live video, the hardest part is always getting started. You know, usually like I have my idea and then I'm kind of just sitting there looking at the phone, you know, and it's so hard to just press the button, you know, but then once it starts counting down the 3, 2, 1, and you have to go, you just go, you know, no matter who you are, no matter how shy you are, no matter how introverted you are, no matter how not well spoken you think you are, when the camera is on you and you know it's recording, you just find something to say all the time. So I hope that everyone's going to keep giving it a try.
I do struggle with when you first go live, and I've kind of watched some of the coaches that do a lot of live video from another training I'm doing, but they kind of stall because when you first go live, nobody's there.
Mm-hmm.
But Facebook is telling people, hey, this person is live, you should go check it out. But you want to give, just like when we start our meetings here, it's like, okay, we're going to give it a few more minutes. But you feel awkward saying, I know you're here, but let me just wait a minute, especially when you think of people that are going to click it and watch it later.
Exactly.
So it's kind of awkward to do that. So I might chit chat about less important topics. Like I feed my son. I've actually started doing my morning gratitude posts specifically when I'm doing my shake and my son's breakfast. That's been something I just started this week that I really like, that I'm actually drinking my shake. I might not be posting pictures of my shake, but I'm drinking it every morning during my video. It also makes me more accountable to post it at roughly the same time every day, at least as regularly as my shake is.
Mm-hmm. That's
But so kind of stalling, and then and I wanted to mention everybody that has commented about my live videos is, oh, George is so great. And I will say that it does come easier for me because I am an extrovert. I am an exhibitionist. I have had crazy bright hair. I have no problem with people staring at me. I enjoy public speaking. And that's not to say that I don't get nervous about that too. And probably the first couple of times I went live, I was nervous, but it's a strength of mine, but that doesn't mean that you can't do it just because you are introverted. You would still go and sit down and have coffee with somebody, even as an introvert, right? I mean, you could handle one person. So just imagine it's one person.
Yeah, that is great advice. Well, that's kind of inspiring me to do a live video tonight as well. All right, guys. Well, I'll let everyone go. Thank you all for your time. Thank you again, George. And I will post the replay as soon as possible. And if you think of any more questions for George, or if you know of other questions that people have, just share them in the team page. All right. Have a great night, everyone. Bye.